All right, let's get started. Good evening, everyone. I know that other folks are going to be getting on real soon. If those of you that don't know me, my name is Ehab Jalil. I'm the executive director for Amana Academy. And we've got a little bit of a different presentation for you this evening, given the circumstances that we're all finding ourselves in. So, just up until the governor's announcement a couple of days ago for the school closures, I had a different presentation altogether. So just kind of whipped this up in the last 24 hours or so. And Miss Campbell, Cherise Campbell, our principal, is also going to speak to you towards the end of the presentation. And then we'll both take your questions as well. And just hoping that everybody's okay, feeling well, that you're all healthy. I know that these are very trying times for all of us. And like everybody's been saying, we're going to get through it. And I do pray that none of your families are impacted directly by the coronavirus. But we're going to go through just, I think it's about 10 or 12 slides. And like I said, we'll have question and answer session at the end if anybody's got any questions. So let's get started. Hopefully I'm doing this right. There we go. Okay, so in typical EL fashion, we're going to start our State of the School address with a reading. And this reading is particularly important to me personally because it's from the founder of Expeditionary Learning, Greg Farrell, who just passed away this week. And I had the pleasure to meet Greg Farrell in person back in 2018 at the Expeditionary Learning National Conference. And I felt it would be very fitting to share this photo of me and him, which I'm incredibly proud of, but also this quote that the EL organization shared with the rest of us just a couple days ago. So it says, people, no matter their age, need to feel and be viewed as capable. Everyone wants a purpose. When given the opportunity, they will rise to the challenge. And just like the EL network has said, this is just an absolute, the right quote for these times and the challenges that we're facing as a school community, and of course as a Metro Atlanta community, and also a national community. And Greg Farrell, like I said, was the founding president of EL, but also for those of you that have been part of the expeditionary learning journey for a long time, you know that he wrote the books Roots and some of the other kind of early foundational elements of EL, including the design principles that we always refer to and all of that. And so so I pray for his family and for him. He passed away just this last week, and his wife had passed away just this past summer. So we really do feel for his family and wish them, solace in this time. But Greg Farrell is just an amazing person, and I think it's important for us to honor him. So with that in mind, I want to get into the rest of the presentation. And really the headline that you're going to hear today is that the state of Amana Academy is very strong. We're incredibly proud amid these challenges that we're facing. You're going to see that Amana is responding in a vigorous way and also just sustaining a very high quality program. And I'm incredibly proud of our crew and the partnership that we have with you as parents as well, in terms of making sure that students are getting what they need and that they're being challenged to go beyond what they think possible. So let's dive into a couple of the key metrics that we've been monitoring. We just looked at this just this week as we were putting together this presentation. And academically, we are doing really well. We're one of the highest performing schools in the state and among the highest rated schools in Fulton County schools. And as you can see here, the Governor's Office of Student Achievement is rating us an A. This is the second year that we've been an A-rated school. Niche, which has a fantastic evaluation that takes into account diversity, takes into account community factors, as well as student growth and so forth. They've got us rated as an A minus, and greatschools.com has elevated us from an 8 out of 10 to a 9 out of 10 just here in the last month. So we're incredibly proud of this kind of performance and of what our faculty has been able to do. And of course, all of this is really a reflection of your students and the incredible academic prowess that they have, as well as the growth that they're showing. So academically, we're doing really, really strong. The other metric that we're measured on is financial. And so I wanted to just share this without getting into too much detail in terms of, what these different metrics mean. But I want you to know that financially, in the last 3 to 4 years, we have really improved our financial standing. As you can see from this slide, our budget's the biggest that it's ever been. Our budget is right now $7.48 million, which basically reflects the number of students that we have and some of the grant money that we've received, and of course your generous donations for the annual fund. But a key metric is our days cash on hand, which is our rainy day fund. A few years ago, that was down close to 6 days. We were running an incredibly tight ship financially, and now we've built that back up to 62 days. So we have basically 2 months worth of operating funds in reserve in case, God forbid, we have some sort of a catastrophe and so forth. So that's important to our authorizers, both Fulton County Schools and also the state Department of Education, because they want to make sure that we're financially viable and that we're able to meet the needs of our students wholeheartedly. And then the last metric really deals with a transaction that we did back in 2012 to purchase our building, and it's our debt service ratio. And we want to see that ratio above 1.1 in any given year. And as you can see, we look like it looks like we're going to be finishing the year at 1.55. That's what Christy Davis, our CFO, is predicting. So overall, we're in a very strong position financially, which again is one of the key metrics that determines the success of charter schools. I also want to celebrate a new addition to our crew, Helena Brown. She's also on the call right now. Helena is joining us as the new principal for our second campus, which is going to be springing up in West Atlanta. Helena has been with us since the start of January. You may have seen her around campus. And she's basically in residency at our campus until we start the new school. And for those of you that may not have known about this project, we last year decided to start replicating our model in other parts of Metro Atlanta. And so our organization has really seen a shift. We've really moving from being one school to now a network of 2 schools. And, depending on the success of the second school, we may be afforded the opportunity to even expand beyond that into other parts of Metro Atlanta. So Helena is just a great addition to our school. She's a graduate of Spelman College, as well as Georgia State University, where she was near the top of her class. And she comes to us with a lot of experience and administrative experience. So we're thrilled to have her joining and working with Miss Campbell and Miss Abdul Khalik as well, in terms of the work that we do at Amana in the Alpharetta campus as she prepares to lead the campus in West Atlanta. So Helena, I know that you're excited to be part of the crew. I'm going to unmute you so that you can say something to the participants.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Ehab. I just want to say thank you so much just to the Amana Academy Incorporated, the staff, all crew members, families that I see often. I've felt so welcomed coming in from day one. I am excited about the new school that is getting ready to open. We are pushing forward. We are working hard to make sure that we continue to make the Amana family proud. And I'm just excited to be a part of this wonderful organization. So thank you again for the opportunity, and I'm Amana proud.
Yeah, it's awesome. All right. And then the next thank you is really to our parents and our faculty for being partners in education. Um, yeah, those of you that have been with us for a while know that that's what we used to call our PTO. But we're really embodying that in terms of this virtual environment has forced us to work together. And what I'm seeing is amazing things happening. I've been following the chats with Miss Campbell. I've been following the feedback that we're getting. We get emails from different parents about this virtual experience and how it's going and so forth. And I just want to say thank you to our parents for partnering with us. We know that we're adding a burden to you. It's out of our control, as you know, but our hope is that working together, we can do right by your children. So, and a big thank you to our crew. And we're going to find ways to celebrate our crew. I know we're in a virtual environment, but we're going to find ways to do that because our crew has gone above and beyond in terms of working with the parents and working directly with students. So very, very appreciative of that. We're going to switch now to thinking about how we're going to finish this year out. The governor announced that we're going to be closed through the end of the year. And so what does that mean for us at Amana Academy? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Ms. Campbell to walk you through a few slides and just talk a little bit about what our plans are, what we're currently doing, and then also what our plans are in the coming weeks. So Ms. Campbell, you are unmuted.
Righty. Hello, Amana Academy family. How is everybody? Great, good, awesome. So Mr. Gill, he started off by saying that we're going to share with you what we know about closing out this school year. I can tell you that there's a lot more that we don't know than we do know, particularly about celebrations and those types of things as we finish out the year. But there are some things that we know that we are committed to partner with you on the way. So first, we sent out a survey this week, and I really want to encourage you to participate in that survey because we wanted to get some feedback on how virtual learning was going for your students. We've been looking for feedback in different ways. So after the first week's launch, we had a lunch talk town hall where we got some direct parent feedback. Our teachers, they make weekly calls to parents. And this week we also added on the survey. And want you to know that that feedback is directly going into our programming and how we're making adjustments. One adjustment that has been made has been the recent news around Zoom. And Zoom has been a great partner to educators, and first offering free accounts to educators, but second, really staying on top of the latest security guidelines and providing those updates to educators. And as we receive updates from Zoom, we are working with our teachers to make sure that they are also following best practices with respect to one-on-one environments. So for example, one of the things that's going into play is that Zoom is automatically placing everyone that goes to a Zoom meeting into a waiting room before they go into that one-on-one session. So then the teacher has to allow the student into the one-on-one session. So then we know that no one's going into the session that's not actually invited. Also, another thing that we're committed to honoring is we really believe in the 3 dimensions of EL's achievement. So, high quality work, culture and character, and mastery, knowledge, and skills. So mastery, knowledge, and skills, you're seeing it hopefully every day, your teacher's commitment to excellence, those lessons that should be in a continuation of what they were learning in the classroom. So not just busy work, it should be meaningful learning that's happening. Also, that one-on-one personalized learning should also be happening at least once a week with teachers. But also just our commitment to culture and character. So social emotional learning wise, crew is happening across the building every morning. Some teachers are doing it live through Zoom. Others are recording a message for their students. Counselors are posting support lessons. So daily, our counselors are posting lessons that students can engage with. They're actually getting quite a few views. In addition to those lessons that are going out to students that, in the past that they know have gotten some additional support in school, so they're proactively reaching out to them. And also, you should all know that if at any time any of your students is in need of counseling support, you can send an email to either Julia Guy, so J Guy at Amana Academy, or Miss Albright, J Albright at Amana Academy, and they'll get right back to you and your student by phone for a quick follow-up on any need that your students have. We also have, on that same side, we have the reading hotline and the math hotline, that if your student, if at any time during the day is having an academic challenge in reading or in math, they can call one of our teachers that'll be answering that phone line for any questions. And finally, for our counselors, they'll be starting up small group sessions for, things like we've had in a face-to-face environment, like lunch bunch and those types of things. So really continuing to support the students' socially and emotionally, just because this is just such an important time. Like I've talked to a lot of our teachers, our objective through this time is really care. That is at the root of everything that we're doing. So even though it may appear that, they are really focused on academics because they're making sure that, they have a high quality lesson, and they have, support for, teachers are checking in. Well, the primary purpose of those teachers checking in is to make sure that our students are okay. One way that we know that they're okay is by engaging in the lesson. And if they're not able to engage in the lesson, that starts a conversation about how else can we support you. Having these rituals that our students are accustomed to, like community circle, like we're having tomorrow. Hopefully that goes well. We're trying it for the first time, bringing together 500 of our closest friends to celebrate. So I hope you're all going to join us for that. So keeping this kind of normalcy to the best we can is one way that we're showing how we care about our students. And finally, is just honoring our commitment to the EL approach to education, which includes traditions like passages. It includes the way we have, we're going to celebrate community circle. It includes how we'll celebrate 8th grade promotions, celebrations of learning. So like I said at the top, there's a lot of more questions that I have than things I have figured out. Those are some things that we're still working to figure out. And you all are going to partner with us in those solutions. We have no intention of figuring those things out by ourselves, because it's important that we figure out the best solutions for our community together. So yeah, this kind of speaks to, what I was saying in the on the last slide, is that we'll be working to get a parent committee together for 8th grade graduation, because this is a huge deal. I know there's a lot of talk in community about, high school graduations, but for our school, it's really meaningful that we celebrate this milestone for students that a lot of them, their entire educational career has been with Amana Academy, and that is a big deal. It's a big deal for the kids, and we found that we've worked with these parent communities. It is a big deal for the parent committee also, and we want to make sure that we're doing this right and doing it well. We're also going to continue the fireside chat series. So before school let out, I had sent out a survey about what do parents want to talk about. So we're going to be starting that series, I believe, towards the end of April. So be on the lookout for that. And it's going to start to move, to bigger ideas. It's as we get this virtual schooling thing kind of under control to the best of our abilities, we definitely want to, continue to engage with big ideas, and because school will come back together again someday, and we want to be ready for that, and ready to be continue to be a leader in this field. Finally, we're working on refunding field study fees right now. I know that's some good news for a lot of folks. So you should see some more details about that coming in. Once we return from spring break, then we'll have some virtual field study opportunities. There have been so many great community partners that are opening up their venues virtually. So we're figuring out how to provide field study guides and experiences that can really make the experience consistent with what our state kernels have always had.
Thank you so much, Ms. Campbell. And I just want to say personally, again, how I am so proud of you and the work that you're doing to lead our crew in this very difficult time. And I know that I speak for everybody else that's on this call. If you haven't witnessed somebody working night and day for your students, it's Ms. Campbell and her crew. Ms. Abdul Khadak is also on the call. The rest of the teachers, I see a lot of teacher names on this call, so thank you guys to all of you. Really appreciate you, Sharice, and the great work that you're doing. All right, so we want to ask you guys to help us in 3 ways. There's I know that we're all at home and so forth, but there is something that you guys can help us with, and that is, number one, Ms. Campbell talked about the survey that we just sent out to parents. So check your emails, make sure that you fill out that survey, because that survey is going to inform the work for the remainder of this year. And we'll probably learn some things from it that also impact the way that we do digital learning days in the future. And hopefully, over the summer, this will abate and we'll be able to go back to regular school. But it's a learning process for all of us. So we want to hear your perspective. So please make sure to fill out that survey. The second thing we want you to do is to tell your friends and share the positive stories that you're having with your friends. Do it through Facebook, through Instagram, Twitter, whatever social media outlet that you have. We want these stories to be shared, and I'll tell you why. I'm just going to be transparent. Our enrollment numbers are looking really good for next year. We just want to make sure that all those people come. So it's important to us that the good stories are being shared across all these different platforms. And if you're having conversations with friends, please let us know. I did not put this on this presentation, but I did present it at the last board meeting. Our recommitment rate for this year is the highest that it's been ever at Amana. It's 94% recommitment rate in terms of folks that are current parents saying that they're going to come back next year. And so we're feeling really good about that number. We hope that you're having a positive experience. And so we just ask you to do us a favor and do a review on Google, do a review on greatschools.com, but most importantly, share good stories with your friends and your networks. And then lastly, be on the lookout for an email that's going to come out probably in the next 2 weeks. It'll be asking for your participation on helping us to shape our new strategic plan. So every 5 years, we develop a brand new strategic plan that's going to inform the work that we do in the next 5 years. The last time we did this, we had parent involvement, and it was critical. And we had put in there that we wanted to become a STEM certified school, that we wanted to become an expeditionary learning credentialed school, that we wanted to be at the top 5% performing schools in Georgia. Those goals have now been met. And I can tell you that it's because we keep revisiting those goals multiple times a year. And that's what informs the work plan that we do every single year with expeditionary learning. Even there was a goal around being a well-appreciated and local institution. So it is going to be important that we get your input. So when you see something related to our strategic plan, just remember this session that we're having now and say to yourself, I want to get involved in that, because we need to have your voice there. All right, so that really concludes the presentation portion of our State of the School address. Like I said, it's a little bit different than what we've done in the past. because we do recognize that we're in a different kind of circumstance. What I'm going to do now is, if I can figure this out on Zoom, I'm going to unmute you all. And if you do have a question, feel free to speak up or use the chat box. Here we go. All right, you're all unmuted. So please mute yourself if you plan not to ask a question. All right, does anybody have a question?
They muted us. Hold up.
So there's a question in the chat box.
Okay, can you read it?
Are there annual fees due to attend Amana?
Are there annual fees? So that might be from a parent that's thinking about joining Amana. No, there's no annual fees. So we are a public school, like any other Fulton County public school. We do ask parents to purchase uniforms. We do ask parents to help us with field studies costs, but if somebody needs assistance, they can also talk to us about that. But no, we're a public school and open to anybody that resides in the Fulton County School District.
Another question from the chat box. How can new parents get involved in the PTO?
Say that one more time.
Hey, you might want to just mute everybody and then we just take questions from the chat box.
Okay, that sounds good. And if somebody really wants to get our attention, just wave your hand like this. We'll figure it out. All right. All right, I just muted everybody. So let me unmute Miss Campbell because she's trying to talk to me. There we go. All right. What was that last question?
How can new parents get involved in PTO?
So the best way to get involved with PTO is to talk to one of our two presidents. There's co-presidents at PTO. And the way that you could find their information is by going to our website, amanaacademy.org, and clicking on the parent tab. That's where it should be. Their contact information is there.
And
we also, one more thing about that. So we do also have an Amana Academy PTO Facebook page, which I encourage you to visit. And so if you just look into Facebook, Amana Academy PTO, you'll find it there, and then you can also communicate via that medium.
Patty Atkinson has a comment. So I guess she needs to be unmuted.
Oh, let me unmute you. This is so much fun. I have the power. I'm trying.
So while you're doing that, I can answer the question about advanced biology. There's a question that, as far as advanced biology, 7th grade class, is it still valid? I know there's no more milestones testing. So yes, as far as I know, our 7th grade high school biology class students are getting credit. The EOC has been, canceled across the state, and we've been advised that the student's grade in the class is what qualifies them for advancement to the next grade level. All right, you want to go with Patty?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, here we go. Hey, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Jalil, for hosting this for everybody. And I just want to say, as a teacher, I'm so touched with all the parent involvement and all the kind messages from the parents. All the teachers are feeling a lot of energy and positivity around all the parents supporting us. And, it's a really emotional time. But I want to say regarding leadership and Cherise Campbell, I am so blessed to be part of this community. We are so blessed because while other schools were scrambling around, my sister's a teacher in Northern Virginia, basically good luck with virtual teaching, no support whatsoever. Lesson plans aren't even due for Northern Virginia until the end of the month. Cherise Campbell activated, like in day one, visionary leadership. And that is extraordinary. Within my own neighborhood, everybody complaining about, different elementary schools that are local. I've got 2 sons in high school. When I tell you crickets from 2 different high schools, I just want to say it's because of Cherise Campbell and her team. And for 1 second, don't let her fool you tonight by saying I don't have it figured out, because she taps this every day. She's got it figured out. So I just want to say hashtag Amana blessed to be part of this community with all of y'all.
Thank you so much, Patty, and thank you so much to all of our crew members, whether that's, you know, teacher, our parapro is, you know, keeping this ship rowing full speed ahead. So thank you.
Absolutely. Are there any other questions in the chat box?
There are.
Oh,
So
fun.
next, what are plans to bring Amana West up to speed regarding performance, diversity, etc., to ensure there's a consistent model across both locations? Do we want to let Helena take that one?
Why not?
All right, hello, I am here. What are plans to bring Amana West up to speed regarding performance, diversity, et cetera, to ensure there is a consistent model across both campuses? So what's most important is that we are a replication of Amana. And so the part that I'm most excited about is, since being there since January, learning everything that makes Amana, Amana. And so being able to be engrossed with EL education, understanding culture and character, understanding what's happening in each of the classrooms, K-8, but specifically since we're starting K through 3rd grade, making sure that I'm in those classrooms to see what's happening. The fact that we're able to seed Amana West with teachers from Amana, that's amazing, because we're going to be bringing veterans who are really strong in the game, and they're coming over to Amana West to bring that culture and their level of expertise to the Amana West campus. And so that's something else that helps to build that. We are making sure that we pay attention to diversity, because again, diversity is what makes us strong. And so we are making sure, regardless of whether that's in the hiring process, regardless of whether that's in our enrollment and those different things, we want to branch out and reach all sets of the community. Another positive about Amana West is we're not limited to one district. And so we are a statewide commissioned charter school. And so because of that, we can pull from Fulton, we can pull from APS, Douglas, Cobb, any and all. If somebody wanted to travel all the way from Savannah just to come with us here at Amana West, they have the ability to do that. So that's something else that we hope to bring, that level of diversity as well. We are following all of the models when it comes to EL education. We will have those things at at Amana West. We will have STEM teachers at Amana West. We will make sure that we're servicing students throughout all levels. And so all of those things will be consistent with what's at Amana. And the most important part as well is understanding that regardless of whether we're Amana or Amana West, we're Amana Incorporated. And so both teachers from both sectors, all staff members, all crew members working together to ensure that we're all learning from each other, and we're really learning best practices. So that's a way that we plan on making sure that Amana West keeps up the high levels of achievement, making sure that we have a strong culture and character that's positive, and ensuring high quality work as well.
Awesome. All right, so the next question is, are kids automatically being moved to the next grade level? And does any of the work they're currently doing count for grades? So I'm gonna answer this question probably in two different ways. One, the way that our teachers are delivering instruction is in the best way that they know how to support kids. So when we talk about grades, any grades that they're generating now are, for the purpose of feedback and for growing students, which kind of leads into my second part of the comment. Decisions around, I've got a dog and a 5-year-old. Decisions around how students will be promoted to the next grade are going to be informed by, I know Fulton was talking about it today at their board meeting. I know our board and school leadership have had, lots of conversations about this. And what I can say is that the decision will be made based on what are the best interests of the student. And yeah, I'm gonna leave that there. Next question, any updates on when the current building for Amana West campus will be raised and when new construction will begin?
It's a great question. We actually just had a conversation about that this afternoon at 4:30, I think it was. So we're very eager to start construction on the new building. For those of you that don't know, what we're going to be doing is taking a parcel of land that has a church on it that hasn't been used in a while, and what we're going to do is convert that parcel into 4 different small buildings. They're going to be temporary buildings, but still really, really nice. And we're going to make it into like a little mini campus. And so right now, what we're focused on is what's called due diligence work, which is we have to do a number of different tests. There's environmental tests that we have to do. We've had civil engineers on the site. The modular building representative has been on the site. So we've been doing a lot of those kind of that pre-work to get ready for installation of the entire site and construction. We also have to abide by some specific Department of Education rules around bidding out the project. And in this case, we had to have a 60-day bidding process. And so that's going to culminate just in the next 10 days. And so we'll finally be able to choose a general contractor that will do the site work, and then the modular buildings will be installed. So the actual work is very compressed once it gets launched. But right now, the main focus has been around all the due diligence activities that have to happen before you even get started. And so we're hoping to get started sometime really, it'll be mid-May before you're actually going to see some major work happening. Right now, it's mainly going to be focused around that due diligence work. And then it's going to be a compressed timeline. I hope that helps. All right, are there any other questions for those of you that are on video? Okay, awesome. Well, thank you everybody very much for being part of this. And like it says here on the slide, please stay safe. We're just all gonna be watching out for each other. And if you need anything from us, feel free to contact us. The email that I sent out has my personal cell phone on it. We've got the general information here posted, the info@amanaacademy.org email address, as well as the main number, which is checked multiple times a day by our receptionist, Hida Kadri. So we're here to respond to your needs. And so we're just thrilled that you guys participated in this session, this virtual State of the School address. And like I said, if you need anything, just let us know. In the meantime, stay safe, and thank you so much. We'll see you soon.